you guys are in class, but the video is posted in announcements. So if you ever need it, it should be in the announcements by the date. So I usually try to get that up this afternoon sometimes. Sometimes it takes a little while to email me. But today, first, we're going to go over, I'll let each of you guys share some of your things you learned about your typeface that you were assigned. And then we will look at your thumbnails for your poster to see how those are going. And that is the main thing we're doing today. Okay, with that, Noah, you want to go first?
Yeah. I'm just going to share like a few points. I don't want to use a lot because I know I went with Futura, and I think Nick had that one assigned as well. So I'm only going to mention like one or two things so that he can mention.
Did I accidentally double assign y'all?
Yeah. Remember when I emailed you?
I do now. Okay.
Yeah, that Excel spreadsheet had double assignments.
Huh. Okay. So anyway, Noah, you decided to do Futura.
Yeah, I decided to do Futura.
Nick, which one?
I did Futura as well.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Sorry for the duplication. Interesting. It has double. See, I don't see the double assignment. You know what? Now I do. I see the double assignments. Darn it. Okay. Well, obviously my cutting and pasting techniques are just not very good. Okay. Well, Noah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I guess I could mention like some of the things.
Sure. Tell us, just give us a summary of, what you learned, who designed it, and what are some of the characteristics, interesting things about Futura?
All right. Well, it was designed by Paul Remmer, and it was about 1927 when he first designed it, and then 1928 when it was first used, I guess. And it was made for the New Frankfurt project. And then, so some of the general characteristics, it's a geometric sans serif. The lowercase ascenders are very tall. The X height is pretty low. So in that mixture causes it to not look very good in large bodies of paragraph, text, paragraphs. It's usually used for signage or posters. It's not, or headliners.
It's not the best readability in big paragraphs, like you said, big blocks of text.
And then one of the a movie that used it for their poster that's really well known is the 2001: A Space Odyssey. And there is a lot of variation with the different font styles with it. Of course, there's the original, but currently, as of when I wrote the paper, there was 107.
Really? 107 different styles within Futura?
Yeah, and I linked to the website that shows that. They have all the 107 styles. So
okay, that's a lot. I don't think I knew that. That's new to me. I didn't know that.
Well, I'm sure it's just because all the different text foundries and then different people's takes on it. I'm sure a lot of them are similar, but 107.
Okay.
I don't know. Is there anything else?
That's pretty good. You want to share your thumbnails and let's look at them?
Oh, yeah.
Share your screen there.
Just waiting for it to pop up. Okay, here it is.
It always takes just a little bit.
All right, here's my 15. I discovered that it was actually kind of difficult to come up with some ideas, and in the end, I kind of went with kind of the Bauhaus looking structure. Especially like that last one, especially reminds me of the Bauhaus, or the building with Bauhaus coming down vertically.
Okay. Oh, that's
Yeah,
a building.
so
Okay.
that's what that was inspired by.
Okay.
And then one I particularly like is I don't know if you can see that box.
Yep, we can.
Yeah. Okay. So I like that one a lot because I overlaps a lot of certain letters.
Yep.
I overlap the T, the J, and the F, and it creates various, like, they're like overlaying. And then by having all of them overlay, it creates the letter I as well. So you get like 4 different letters from the future alphabet. Yeah.
Okay. That is with, especially if you've got, obviously you got different grades on there, so you could use different opacities with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other, so you like that thumbnail? Because I think we're doing how many roughs? We're doing 2?
Yeah.
2. So so you like that idea? What's the other idea you like?
Well, I like the first one just because of the simplicity. I think it has some unique look to it.
Okay.
I like the third one on the top left.
With the big lowercase a?
Yeah. Maybe with the spacing of all the letters, like the different text, I might rearrange that for rough. But I kind of like that design.
That's a nice one with the big lowercase a.
Yeah.
Another thumbnail that has some possibilities, and obviously this is thumbnails you can move all around. The reflected upside down lowercase f's.
Oh yeah.
Have some possibilities. Okay, so Daniel, what do you think about these thumbnails? Anyone popping out to you that you like better that you want to give Noah some advice on?
Yes, please.
Advice, thoughts, whatever. Doesn't have to be advice.
I think, yeah, one of the first favorite that you said, the one where you're overlapping the letters. I think that one will come out really good, especially if you choose are we doing color on the roughs, or are we just doing shades?
Color on the roughs are in color, yes.
Okay. Then yeah, I think if you did the right colors and did the right like opacity and all, I think that one could look really good. I'm not sure if you talked about the one on the second page. It's the second one with the A's.
Mm-hmm.
That one also looks really good. That's a really good look one.
Yeah, that has some possibilities, also with some overlap, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nick, any thoughts for Noah?
I like the simplicity of the bottom left one, and then I'm also in the same boat with Daniel, where I like the one with the overlapping A's.
Okay.
Sweet.
So, obviously, you got two different, A's. One with the large one, the scale, and then one with the overlapping, and then your first one with all the overlapping letters. So as you're going forward with doing the roughs for those, and yeah, both first two on the left have, with the giant F, both lowercase and uppercase. That's a possibility too. So as you're thinking about the roughs, for example, let's do the one with all the overlapping letters with the J, the I, and the F. So you have the overlapping. You can also repeat. So maybe as they overlap, the I could come in from one direction, the F could come in from another direction, the J could come from another direction, and then they overlap, low opacity or something like that. Or
yeah, I like that idea. I like the idea of having like the low opacity, like things overlapping, but I couldn't figure out a way to really do it without it looking really messy. So it's like, yeah, I knew I could do it using a program, but with pencil,
Yeah.
paper, I just couldn't really figure that out. And so
No,
that,
that's fine.
yeah, that was the best thing I could possibly.
Plus, you got different colors, which will make it easier. So you have that choice, the repetition. So you have that idea, you can repeat it. Also, you could combine. So, for example, you have the large lowercase a, and you have the whole or the counter out of that a, and then you have the dot and the I. You could combine those and have the dot and the I become the counter in the a. Just as a thought, I'm just making that up. Just I sort of saw that as possibly being a possibility.
Sweet, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other thoughts that anyone else has? So did you did intentionally do the first two left thumbnails on uppercase F and lowercase f like that? Was that in?
Yeah, I didn't always. I wanted to do two different variations because the F in particular, like the lowercase f, stands out as a Futura font, like
Right.
because of how tall it is. But then I also wanted to have the capitalized letter as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting too. That's all concept of having sort of the same layout, and then but just switching the uppercase and lowercase letters. That's that has some possibilities too. Okay. Okay. Unshare your screen. Let's not do two Futuras in a row. Daniel, let's let you tell us about your letter. Which did you pick, or which were you assigned?
I was assigned Georgia.
Georgia. Okay. Tell us what you found out that was interesting about Georgia.
Okay. So the typeface was designed by Matthew Carter, and he actually designed it for Microsoft. They commissioned him on it. Because currently at the moment, there weren't very many typefaces that looked really good on low resolution screens, and obviously that changes over time. Screens have gotten a lot more impressive quality wise, but at the time they needed something that would look good, whether it was blown up or just small in general. So they do a sans serif one and then a serif one, and obviously with the serif one, he came out with Georgia.
Okay.
He took inspiration from, I believe it was called the Scotch Romans. It was designed, that was back into the 1800s that he took inspiration from. And
What did he take inspiration from that? Was there something he was put in the design that he thought was from that era?
Sorry, I'm a little scattered brained. I never really took much look into the Scotch Roman influence. I didn't actually go back and take a look at that to see the inspiration from it, but that's where he got it from.
Okay. Well, what do you think of the characteristics that are interesting?
I thought it was interesting because what happened is when he was creating this font, he had issues with the serifs because they were looking too heavy when he did them, and then he also had to think about the pixels that came with it.
Yeah, the whole pixel thing was initially was very hard to design for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and everyone's screens has gotten a lot better. Definitely. Well, can you share your thumbnails for your posters?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I can show all 15 at the same time, but I'm gonna try.
Oh, that's fine. Or just show some, and you can always unshare and share again.
Yeah, it came on to 2 images.
Okay.
Wonder if I can just Okay. Well, those are the last 6.
Those are the last 6? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Show us the first 6, and then maybe you can talk about these first. Which ones do you like, don't like?
I tried moving or doing a lot with the G because of the little bar at the top.
Right.
When researching this font, it came out to be a really playful font for me. It was more of a it's more described as a fun font nowadays, and that's why I kind of did some loose things with it. For example, the first one on this, I actually plan to add more letters. It's hard to show on thumbnails, but I want to play around with positive and negative space on them and see how
Okay.
that looks.
Okay.
But I really want to take advantage of the bar at the top and do something unique with it. For example, what I see a lot in my inspirations that I took from, they typically put Matthew's name on top of it.
Huh.
It's kind of
Okay.
interesting. They either put it inside or above it, somewhere around it. And then it's kind of interesting how you can put information inside of these.
Sure.
And
Interesting. So the middle of this, the bottom row in the middle, where you have the G sort of reverse with the text going vertical,
mhm.
It almost looks like eyeglasses.
Yeah, it kind of does. Now that I look at it.
In fact, that almost could be a face. Now, I mean, that's sort of playful or something. I don't with the eyeglasses on there. Just an interesting thought occurred to me. So let's look at the other ones.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that. I might have to do something with that now.
It's interesting.
Okay. Okay. So I did a little more when it comes to these. There's a lot more going on. I tried using the alphabet a lot in most of these. One that really got me is because of the how it was introduced basically into the digital era. These were just like a bunch of like arrowheads pointing to it, and I want to like in the roughs doing it digitally. I plan to make the arrowheads like really pixely. You know how the mouse used to look back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Yep.
How
Okay.
smooth it is now.
Yep.
So just to be a bunch of those pointing towards it. The children's block one that really just reminds me of like fun and playful. That's where I got that inspiration from.
Okay.
That one would have a lot more color. This middle one, it would be a lot more organized, but it would have the word Georgia falling down and kind of bouncing up and down a little bit.
Sure. All
And
the
then,
letters flying around sort of in a little group is pretty fun.
yeah. So those are these thumbnails.
Okay. So the middle one of this page, that's sort of like, I'm just making stuff up, almost like there's a beanbag of letters and Georgia's like bouncing off the top of it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or
I kinda had more
trampoline-ish.
letters. It wasn't really supposed to be that small. It was just trying to knock out as many thumbnails as quickly as possible. That's the way I like to do them.
Oh yeah. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Noah, give Daniel some thoughts, and we can always flip back to the first set of thumbnails as well.
Well, I just have to say I really like the falling one. I don't know. I just felt like it was really unique.
The falling children blocks one.
Oh well, that one's good as well. But I was thinking like the falling alphabet one, the
Okay.
the middle one right there.
Okay.
I love that. It's very fun. I also like all the different, the mouse pointers pointing at the G. I like the simplicity of the bottom left one and the left one, left middle. Yeah. And there's some other ones that I like on the other one as well, if you wanted to switch to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can switch those.
Nick, any thoughts for? Oh, leave him back up there.
Oh no, I was putting up the other ones.
Oh, okay. Sure.
For Noah to see again.
Sure.
Yeah, I love the middle one right there, and I love that bottom right one. So the middle bottom, the bottom right one. Those two I particularly enjoy.
Okay. Nick, any thoughts?
I like the on this page. I like the one in the bottom right. If you could go back to the other page, though.
Yeah, I got you.
Please, thank you. On this page, I actually liked the layout of the top middle one. I like how all the letters are kind of all over the place, different sizes, different angles. You got the year on the right there. I know one of the, I think there was, and you probably saw the same image I did for, I think Georgia's poster. That top left one reminds me of one of the posters, and I like the design of that one. I consider the middle left kind of like a variation on that one, and I like the middle left for sure. But the as far as playfulness, I like the middle one for sure with the bouncing letters. It's an interesting idea.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember your posters that you shared that were inspiration. Did any of the posters go down the 1993 path of things that going on in that year?
I never saw anything really unique with the year.
Okay.
It was usually just kind of somewhere in there.
Because 1993 is, music-wise, is sort of the grunge era. So you had some things going on computer-wise, though. You got the whole pixel thing, like the pixels with the arrows. The music-wise, you got grunge going on. I'm trying to think what else is going on in 1993. It's past. It's not the new wave era. So that's the sort of the grunge era. Okay, interesting. Okay, plenty of things to work with. Okay. Yeah, and if you want to, the whole face ideas would be a whole nother path that you could go down.
Yeah.
Nick, you want to tell us about Futura? Sorry, we've gotten the double assignment. That's my fault.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he covered a lot of it. I just know Paul Renner believed that modern typefaces should be of their own designs rather than revivals of previous ones. While he didn't necessarily work directly with Bauhaus, he did share a lot of their ideals. Yeah, and it was for the project. He developed it. It was developed between 1924 and 1926 and released commercially in Germany in 1927 for the New Frankfurt project run by the Bauer Type Foundry.
Okay.
I was just flipping through some of my notes because he covered pretty much the meat of it. Spurned a lot of the grotesque design ideas in favor of more modern, efficient styles and geometric shapes. Uppercases favoring, or rather resembling Roman capital letters. And because they were geometric, they had wider set widths. But they were designed to reflect the mechanized changes in society at the time in 1927.
Right. It is interesting. Some of these things we take for granted that someone had to think of first. Interesting.
Yeah, and I too came across the whole with the digitization came so many different styles.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Want to share your thumbnails?
Sure. Everybody see that okay?
Yep.
Cool. Sorry if it's a little blurry from the picture. So I did like a lot of the lowercase f was definitely my favorite part of Futura. So I played a lot with that. I know you had commented at some point on the Montserrat poster that I had sent
Right.
in for one. Yeah. And so that bottom middle is kind of supposed to be like the Montserrat kind of iteration. I liked stretching a lot of the letters out to go across the page. Or like turning them sideways and kind of spelling it out with the rest of the letters along the letter itself. I actually didn't. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this bottom right one, but I kind of spelled Futura twice, and I don't remember that being my intention. It was like I did the F, and then Utera in the F, and then I spread all the letters out, and I think all the letters spread out would probably be better on their own without the Utera twice there. So that was just a mistake on my part, but could probably either lose Paul Renner or put it up here, put 1927 down here, or vice versa. But yeah.
Yep.
I actually liked the turning it sideways and spelling it out downward too as well. That was I enjoyed that choice. A lot of the diagonals were fun.
Yep. What's going on the very top middle one? Just with the shapes?
Yep. Did geometric shapes and just kind of broke the word up to be across the shapes.
Ah, okay. Oh, I see that. So I couldn't see that when you first had it. Okay, interesting. Huh. Okay. I mean, they certainly can good use of the counter space. Even like you said, you duplicated Futura, but still, that F has that space to use. Okay. The bottom left of this, where you have the T with the words split up, Futura, the FU on top. Although now that I say that, and then the Tura split up. That's interesting also. Okay. Noah, you got any thoughts for Nick?
Yeah, despite like Nick accidentally like doing it twice, I thought that I really liked that design where he has the Natura part of it like in that curve, and he kind of duplicates that with on the next page when he combines both the T and the F, which I also thought was really cool. It's a very unique design. I also like you know what? I actually like the capital F with the lowercase f next to it. Yeah, provides that. It's like, oh, capital, lowercase. Yeah.
That's a good comparison. Interesting comparison, the uppercase and lowercase.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, I
interesting.
think that he has a really good selection of, thumbnails or rough drafts he could make from like basically all of these because they all look really well. And I like the use of like the blocks or like the cubes because it kind of reminds me of that Bauhaus architecture of just like blocky, very efficient.
Yeah. The F and the T combined. Nick, tell us a little bit about that, where you sort of have them rotated but combined. It could be on the other page.
Yeah, it's right here in the middle.
Yes.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to, just kind of merge the letters to try something different. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's interesting too. And you have a couple versions on the other page too of the T and the F combined, it looks like as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry,
Yeah.
these two right here.
Yeah.
Yep, just different, same idea, different formats. That's all that was.
Yeah.
It was fun and interesting. I think, I mean, I think they kind of need a little refining, obviously, because they look a little. I don't even know. They felt a little too. I don't know if it was just the chunkiness of drawing it with pencil or why this is here. But yeah, I don't know. Something I could probably play with more. I feel like this one in the middle was just a little too simplistic. I didn't really want to go with that.
Well,
I would have to do more with the negative space as well, or maybe spread the information out into like the corners or something. I mean, I did have it like the lines are there because that's where the information would be, but
Sure.
these roughs look so simple in my eyes. I don't know. I could definitely gotta play with it more.
Oh yeah, it's just getting your ideas together. Okay, well, great. Let's see, Daniel. Any thoughts for Nick?
Yeah, I have a question about one of the thumbnails. I think it was on the other page.
Okay.
The one with, is that like cross hatching? I can't really tell. It's
Oh
the-
yeah, it was just like if I was gonna add color, I was thinking about putting like lined separators to kind of add color here and there, and maybe change font colors in between, and just have like dark colors kind of bordering around the text in places. That's what the
Okay.
cross hatching was for.
Yeah, yeah. Um, on the first page, I think I enjoyed those the most out of your thumbnails. Specifically the first one on the second row and the middle one on the last row. The one with the F and the T combined. Obviously this is on a thumbnail, so it's not going to look as polished. But once you were to put it into like Illustrator or something, what I kind of noticed is it's going to look really geometric.
Mm.
Because where it's kind of where the most of the information would be. You have a lot of space there. With the triangle on the bottom half.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, it just really catches my eye that could turn out to be really, really neat. And then I also like the blocks in that last one.
Yeah. Yeah, the interesting with the F and the T coming together to form that arrow / triangle, that would be interesting. That's a little reminiscent of your Adobe poster, but
Yeah, that also brought me back to that. I won't lie.
You sort of done that already. Yeah, I don't know if you want to do that. It is interesting. That is creating this giant arrow / triangular shape. Plus the other shapes also are working. So, so things to play around with there.
One could be one of my two, since we need to do two.
Sure. Go ahead, Daniel.
One thing with the blocks is I was wondering if you could do some sort of pattern extending throughout the whole poster.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a pattern for the whole piece. It's just because I didn't want the pencil to get lost on pencil, I just kind of drew it kind of down the side. And then I had a bunch, you can kind of see the eraser marks at the bottom. I had a whole bunch there, and I was just like, no, that's going to overlap with what I'm trying to write on top, so it won't look well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pattern was definitely intended to be a design throughout.
Okay.
Did you plan to do the same color all the way, or like?
No.
What I was thinking, just personally, if I were to take this design, is start with like dark colors at the top, and then kind of start tinting them down all the as you go diagonally.
Interesting. I was gonna make it. The intent was to make each cube only have 3 colors and just repeat the pattern throughout. But tinting is, yeah, like turning the shading down or something like that.
For sure.
Interesting. Yeah.
If you do a block like that, as one of your thoughts, and this, you don't have to pick that one. You ever heard of the artist MC Escher?
Yes.
So he does blocks really too complex. I'm not suggesting that, but he he does a lot of block type things. You might just look at his for a way to turn blocks into a pattern. He's really good at that. Huh, okay. Great. Thanks for sharing that. So I mean, you got, all three of you guys have enough thumbnails to pick two and go for that. So a couple things just to, that reminds the right word, or emphasize. So in the rough, obviously, you have color to play with. I would challenge you to, as you're doing the colors, try to do one with no black, just as a shot. And usually that doesn't work. However, if you try a thumbnail with no black, then try to put just a little black in, or no black at all. Go with dark blue or purple. Or so I challenge you to do one of your color options without black, because black is so strong, and sometimes eliminating black will allow all the other colors and design elements to work better. Sometimes black can overpower things. So that's a challenge I have for you. Obviously, white is a color also. You can have a lot of colors and have white actually work as a design element as well. You guys are doing pretty good with rotation. Think about rotation as you're going forward. I think Noah had the most rotated type things, although Nick, you had plenty of rotated things. So as you're going forward, remind yourself, I mean, obviously you guys had some designs that were vertically oriented or using this side of the poster, but or the side and the horizontal and the vertical parts of the actual poster format. But think about rotating and not being horizontal or vertical. Also, I noticed you guys weren't using symbols or numbers or anything. So you can always use them. And I know you had you guys a couple. Okay, so don't leave those out. You can always use those. And as thumbnails are hard to get the negative space, obviously make sure if you don't have to have any negative space, but it certainly is something you can use as a design element as well. And scale. Just remember, things can be pretty small on a poster. You can have some big things. You can have some cropped things using the edges, but you can also have some pretty small things, especially if you're doing a cloud. Like, who's doing the sort of trampoline or the letters all together with bouncing off? Was that Noah?
Daniel.
Daniel, that was Daniel. Okay. So Daniel, that was interesting. You could have all kinds of small letters in that as well. So just scale wise. Okay. Any questions?
When are roughs due? Is it Wednesday?
Great. Let's look. So roughs are due Wednesday, and then the finals due Sunday. And so it'd be great on Wednesday if you had your roughs due so that we could look at them in class during the studio. Just come on whenever that time is. Obviously, they're not due till midnight, but whatever you got, we can look at it on Wednesday and sort of see. Well, I can give you some advice. It's always nice to get a little outside input on things. Mm-hmm. And then the final is due Sunday.
All right.
Okay. I have one other thing. Oh, so you guys should have gotten an email outside of this class on the student exhibit. Did you guys get that email?
Yeah.
Anyone thinking about entering something?
Potentially.
Okay. It's not a bad idea to enter something from this class or another class. I think the exhibit this year, is going to be completely virtual, so you don't have to print it. You're sending them the file. But consider sending something in. If you don't get in, fine. If you do, it's always good to have other people look at your work.
I don't think I got the email.
You didn't get the email? I will. I got it. I will forward it to everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if that went to the whole school. Maybe it just went to instructors, but I thought it went to every student. But I'll either email it or I'll make it an announcement. Whatever I can do with that. Okay. Any other questions? So we don't have any vocabulary chapter for this week. and we'll do a new chapter next week. Okay. Well, I will talk to y'all on Wednesday.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Have a good
Have
day.
a good day.
You too. See ya.
Bye.